Call the meeting to order. We're gonna skip over the minutes. We'll do them later in the meeting. Let's skip over. Next on the agenda is the public hearing for the proposed purchase of the town land. The town has received an offer on lots 22 and 23 in the business park. 23 is a tiny little triangular piece that landlocked by lot 22. And the original offer came in for 22, and we realized that unless we had access to that land, it's useless. So they've come back with an offer for $78,000 for the two lots. The original offer was $68,000 for the big lot. This was received and discussed by the Board of Selectmen. It was then sent to the planning board, who recommended it. So we're here for our first public hearing on it. If anyone has any questions or comments about it, this would be the time to do it. So I will open the public hearing. Anyone have any?
I do have one comment.
Sure.
I was reached out to by Attorney Conklin, who the buyers have reached out to him. The Conklin's office is drafting the deed and all our closing documents and all that stuff. They have expressed an interest that prior to it being transferred to the buyers, if the town would be willing to voluntarily merge the two lots together, just to make it one lot, so there is no issues with access to the back lot or anything along those lines. So
do we do that? It's a planning board.
it would be the planning board, but I obviously wanted the selectmen to give their blessing, obviously, because the selectmen own the land or the town owns the land. But if the select board, if you all are agreeable to it, I will ask Carol to put it on the planning board's agenda for the last meeting of this month. I think it's the 26th, I believe.
Yeah. You don't want to do it like in 2 days?
Well, the notices, the agenda is already set.
Okay.
So I did tell them.
Wait a minute, you can't add to the agenda?
We can request that in the agenda.
Right.
Was there a public notice requirement?
Not for a voluntary lot merger, no.
Voluntary lot merger is. I don't believe the planning board can deny that unless there's some legal reason to deny it.
Sure. I just knowing that the planning board agenda had already been set.
How busy is their agenda?
It's a pretty full agenda.
It's a pretty full agenda.
Yeah, our Wednesday, excuse me.
When is our next public hearing?
Our next public hearing is on the 24th.
And their meeting
And their meeting is on the 26th. I did let Conklin know that would be my timeline, my projected timeline moving forward, and he said they didn't have any issue with that, even if it pushes out the closing of the office.
My suggestion would be see if we could get it on the planning board agenda for this Wednesday, because it should be fairly quick and easy and simple. And if they just can't fit it in on their agenda, then go with the 26th, obviously, they have to. But I'd give it a shot. I mean, it should be a quick, easy, painless thing for the planning board to do a voluntary lot merger.
Sure.
Yeah. And then if they just can't fit it in, if their agenda is just too full, then push to the 26th. It would be cleaner if it was done prior to the next.
Well, and that's
hearing.
yeah, and you know, yeah.
So if we could,
And Mike said that too, the deed would just be easier. If it's
exactly
already merged, and there's no access issues, and there's no. So.
And barring that, I mean, if we have to have a special meeting Thursday, Friday afternoon, you know, quick and easy to keep it afterwards.
Yeah, it didn't seem like that there was any sort of issues with the timeline, even if it was at the end of the month, because they were fine with it going. So, so I'll talk to Carol, and obviously, Mr. Roden's online right now. So he's listening to this conversation as far as the agenda goes.
Oh, yeah, we're taking it on the planning board.
And we'll go from there. So either it'll be this week or the following week.
Oh, it's after the election, so they'll be electing a new chair.
Correct. Okay. But as long as you all are in favor of it, then I'll make sure.
Oh, sure.
Either for this meeting or next.
Okay.
Do you want to sign as the owners right now, for the voluntary lot merger form in the event that they do request it on Wednesday and be ready to go?
Sure.
Up to you.
We want to go for two.
Yeah, because usually it's property.
Right, right.
So you can pick and choose.
Right.
There's room there for three signatures.
Yeah, why not? Squeeze it.
Well, mine's big.
So if you do it on that line and you leave the champion underneath. Jim,
I don't know, how it works over there. Where the town owns everything, but I know when I bought a piece of land. from
Hold
the
on,
town-
Jim, let's get you on microphone.
I need a microphone for you.
No one will be able to hear you anymore if you don't use the microphone.
Oh. I don't know how it works over there. But I know when I bought a piece of land from the town in front of my house, they had to have it resurveyed,
Yeah.
pay a surveyor, pay for them to do everything over in North Haverhill. Would it be the same there? Do we have to pay for a surveyor to resurvey everything, pay North Haverhill?
it won't need a new survey because the survey was done when the business park was established.
And
So,
nothing-
I just wonder how much it's gonna cost to combine those two instead of selling it both separate to this one person.
it cost zero right there.
Oh,
So they-
that's what I was-
like,
'cause I know,
but
You need the papers, the name, that's it.
Yeah,
oh, okay, because I know when I bought land from the town. it cost-
Yeah, that was different too, because they put a road through it after it was surveyed. So there had to be a resurvey to delineate the road, and this one that hasn't been touched since the survey, so it's good.
Oh, okay.
But good point. Thanks for bringing it up just in case.
any other questions or comments on the business park? All right, I will then close the hearing on this, and it does require a second hearing, which will take place at our next meeting, Monday, March 24th.
Also, just one note too, just to confirm, I did send the abutting property owners, a direct notice to the public hearing, regarding them making them aware. So,
Thank you. All right, let's go through a couple of these things. We get an abatement request. This is the house that had a fire on South Peak Road. And it is now uninhabitable until there's a renovation done on it. So basically, they had use of that house for 300 days of this tax year. And have requested an abatement for the other 65 days. Based on the RSA 7621, the prorated assessment for damaged buildings. So this is the state law, the state manner of calculating the difference. So basically, we are refunding him $1,642.51.
What was the total tax?
The total tax that they have paid was $18,262. And out of the 18,000, we're refunding 1,600.
Sean, excuse me, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
Sean, have you visited that site because of the fire? Yes. Yes. And do you find it to be
Uninhabitable.
Definitely not. It's being gutted now, okay. Thank you, yep,
Do you need a motion? I'll make a motion to approve the abatement as stated.
second,
All those in favor?
aye,
We'll receive another one, that's for the 2024
Sure,
tax year.
Right, so that's good till April 1st.
You got it, I'm sure we'll receive another one right after the first September.
Yeah. Then so it's 65 days abatement just for the building part of the tax. Right? Yes.
Correct, the land value, I mean, yeah, land value is okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a whole.
Did it, I assume, Kristen did that breakdown? Did you do it?
I did it.
Okay, I mean, You'll see it.
You'll see it. It's actually the first, you'll see it if you, under the manifest, it's the first one.
No, that's what I assumed, I just. So thinking, I know we've abated taxes for the burn, just because it's building project.
Yeah, that paper is actually on the door. We got a couple of, fire related appointments here. This, the first one looks like it's for, David Tomato. To be the deputy forest fire warden.
Yeah.
And this is already signed by Whedon. So the three of us need to sign it. Do we have to do a motion and approve this?
I think it would make it cleaner.
Yeah, make a motion to appoint David Tomaso deputy forest fire ward.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, and then the next one. See, oh, I just, I don't understand this one.
Yeah, I believe so.
I mean, this is like we're reappointing. Okay, we're reappointing. Ryan Fairbrother, Leo Kenny, and Mike Whedon. As forest fire wardens. And that's approved by. Mike Wood, who's the, Mike Whedon, who's the fire warden. So,
Make a motion to approve that request.
second, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, so there's two things to sign. Okay. And at our next meeting, there will be a second public hearing. Besides the one for the lot in the business park. We are looking to have a public hearing on accepting unanticipated funds in excess of $10,000, which requires a public hearing. And it's $43,328 from the Office of the Grafton County Commissioners. From the opioid abatement trust fund to purchase the two handheld narcotics analyzer. That'll be at our next meeting. All right, and we are looking at putting a spring road ban for heavy weight vehicles over 6-ton limit. To post this Monday, 3/14. Is not an actual date.
It should be Friday, 3/14.
All the regular roads that we do every year: Beech Nut, Fog Brook, Brookway, Church, Dodge, Hanson Farm, Pollard, West, Lower Black Mountain, Maltese Farm, Maple, Coolidge, Eagle Cliff, Liberty, and School Street.
Yes, and Nate has reached out to some of the major players in the area and have given them a heads up that this will be happening starting next. Yes, so all the contractors or the, you know, the larger ones in town are aware that this is happening.
Okay. Right, and then we want to move on to the town manager report.
All right, couple things. We have been asked to submit a letter of support to the New Hampshire Electric Co-op for a expansion of their broadband initiative. The NTIA, which is the National Telecommunications and Information administration has awarded New Hampshire, almost $197 million in federal funds for broadband equity access and deployment, program to connect homes and businesses, high quality, high speed. New Hampshire Electric Co-op has identified 17 communities, which Lincoln is one, that would help, it would help them, expand their service territory into these communities. So, as part of the application, they're obviously asking for the communities that this could potentially serve for letters of support, and that I would. I don't know why we wouldn't, but.
What are the cons here?
That paragraph says that, you know, they've been awarded 196 million, and down below, it says they are applying, as part of the application process for seeking funding.
Yeah, so the state of New Hampshire has been awarded the 197 million.
Do they have the money in hand?
They have money in hand, the co-op has to apply to be,
Yeah.
to get those funds, because there's other entities that are applying for it, in the state as well. Like I said, I don't know why we wouldn't.
I don't know why we wouldn't either. I mean, the
Yeah, no.
co-op has already started an
Right, right.
initiative of expanding the.
Yes, please do.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, I'll put that together. Representative of Goodlanders, fiscal year 2026 community project funding. So I recently received an email from Representative Goodlanders' office that they are looking for community project requests from the communities. So how the process works is the communities or the organizations send in a little kind of blurb of their project or something that could potentially these funding could go towards. They then shortlist that group to what they will actually bring forward to the federal government. So I have submitted an application to her office. That would be, the request I submitted would be for $1 million for infrastructure improvements at Campus World. I identified bridges, water, sewer, roads. Essentially, I, wrote a little synopsis that kind of help us kickstart, this kind of essentially project. So, they themselves are still awaiting official guidance from the Appropriations Committee on the status of the fiscal year 26 project. However, they have begun accepting requests so they can be early partners in the application process. So more to come when I get more information, but I just wanted to let you know that I did put our name in that from getting the ring. Perfect.
We heard anything on the grant in regards to the fun park and
Riverfront Park?
the fun park?
Not yet, no. I think they told us spring, so I'm hoping April. I'm thinking is a closer time frame. But no, not as of yet.
This is not mitigation.
This would be for the cleanup, yeah, the cleanup grant. But they did tell us it wouldn't be until spring, so we're getting closer. PD icicle update. So last week, they sprayed 9+ inches of blown cellulose into the attic area. In addition, they are also installing a fan venting system in the mechanical room, which will essentially vent the hot air out through the roof. They're also added a cutout in the door, a hole in the door that would draft the cooler air into the room and then up through the room and then out through the venting system in the room. They are confident that this will help, obviously with our icicle issue and solve the problem in the future. So that's all being done.
Nice big guys, Jim. Jim, you want to comment on that?
Yeah, I was kind of wondering,
Jim, just keep it over there.
that's all right. I was just kind of wondering, instead of diverting all that heat out into the air, small example, dumb example probably, on a 10-wheeler. You flip a lever so that the exhaust goes through the body to keep the body warm in the wintertime, so no dirt sticks to it. In the summer, you flip it back and the exhaust goes out the middle, out the muffler. Is there any way to divert all that heat to help heat the rooms downstairs in the wintertime instead of diverting it out into thin air?
Question. I have no idea. I don't know the answer to that question.
You'd almost think, just a little fan in the ceiling that's taking that hot air and blowing it down. There's no, you know, I can't see the sense of just blowing it out into the cold air. If we can heat the building with part of that.
Sean, from your perspective, your previous construction background, does that sound feasible?
Well, it could be feasible, but you're gonna need a mixing chamber and dampers and things like that to divert it. Probably gotta get some kind of computer. I'm not sure about the feasibility at that point, you know? Cost versus benefit. Yeah, it could be looked at. They could look at it, but I don't have all the numbers of that.
I mean, I'll ask, it's worth a shot, I mean,
It's worth asking about,
Concept, yeah.
because. If it's that hot that it's melting the snow off the roof. You know,
I mean, if they can
even
help,
if it was used to heat up the,
help heat that building.
the Sally port. Or something. I don't know. Ask them.
Reclaim heat, just ask about that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
okay, will do. Town meeting info packet, so in your packets, I made you a little cheat sheet to town meeting, it outlines the budget increases, the approved revenues, and the impact tax rate, so you should have that in your packet. It's the next page.
Thank you for that.
Got it.
Anyone screw me up?
It's behind this.
This is
This was behind it. I have-
You're this, then there's that, you know,
Then I only have two. How many you have?
there's,
3, 4, 5.
there's one stapled together, 2-page thing before the thing, right, yeah, okay. Weird. Well, so Jack,
Ready to go through my.
I'll get you yours. Weird.
but, yeah, no worries, like I said, I'll make sure you have it before you leave today. Unanticipated revenue, you just mentioned it, that the PD was awarded the 43,000 and change to Grafton County. We'll have to hold that, and we'll hold that at the next meeting. The wood trial, Jason received an email this past week from the court stating that there will be no jury trials in July or December this year, and August and September have already been scheduled. So this essentially informs us that a trial is unlikely this year in Grafton County. So Jason wants to know if the board would consider moving to a different jurisdiction. Both sides would obviously have to agree in order to do so. But he feels like this may be our best option if we want the case tried this year.
Can we discuss this another? Thank you. Because I have comment on that, but I can't comment on.
Couple follow-ups from the last meeting, Lincoln Opportunity Zone. So, according to the Office of Strategic Initiatives, and I made a copy of the map for you all of Lincoln is considered an opportunity zone as a place on the census tract. So I've attached the map for you, just as a follow-up from last week, because I think we were talking about where it was it Route 3, was it just Connector Road, or was it just the industrial park? But according to their website, it appears it's all of them.
and a little more. And a little more, so if you want to build business in a little more. You get a.
I thought it was interesting that Thornton was also, all of Thornton was in there, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think that was originally started, when Sununu was governor, and, it was like the road to Waterloo Valley.
So it was all in Waterville? Sorry, did I say that out loud?
Oh. Also, another follow-up from, last week's meeting, I pulled a report from our assessing software that identifies the residential unit count, the 3,416 residential units. We know that this number is slightly skewed as the apartment buildings and accessory dwellings are only considered one unit. And also, we know that from OJ's comment at the last meeting, he's got a couple different dwelling units on his property, but he's only being considered one. But, I did find it interesting that on the MS1 through, Vision, it does, kind of itemize what kind
That's cool.
of each one was. So I figured it gives us the closest estimate that we have,
Okay.
knowing that it's skewed a little bit. So, perfect. Like I said, just to follow up on that. I did have one more thing that we got, late last week. We were notified, it's not on my town manager's report, but, we were notified last week that, as part of routine maintenance and due to recent reports of the beacon malfunctioning, DOT is removing this yellow light beacon right here, the one right here,
On Church Street.
on Church Street to 112.
Yeah.
It says NHDOT is currently evaluating the effectiveness of all flashing beacons, especially those near the end of their lifespan. Following the evaluation that was done here, DOT has determined that the beacon and related equipment at New Hampshire 112 Church Street intersection will be removed. Typically, removal occurs between 45 to 60 days after this notification. Before the beacon is removed, DOT will inspect the existing stop signs on Church Street and replace it if it's substandard, or in poor condition. This sign work will be completed within the next few weeks, weather permitting. It says NHDOT believes that the overuse of warning beacons reduces their overall effectiveness, impacting the value of those that are truly warranted. Furthermore, this particular beacon has been in place for several decades, and the characteristics of the roadway have changed significantly since the initial installation.
Makes sense, because that used to be the main road going Church Street to Pollard to where Connector Road is now. Over to Route 3, so that.
But they're talking about that crosses Main Street.
They're talking this little.
The hanging yellow light right here. The flash, yeah.
On the sidewalk.
Oh, no, the overhead beacon, the overhead flashing beacon.
I got, all right,
Because there's one at the school, and then there's one near the garage in Clark's.
I didn't even know that was there.
To be honest, I didn't know.
I do it all the time.
I paid attention to that the whole time.
Yeah, it makes sense that when it was put there, it was because that was the main road.
Yeah.
It's not anymore, so that makes perfect.
That didn't go.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
That's all I have directly. I don't know, if you. Want to talk about the email we received from Linwood Ambulance today, or,
Yeah, we received an email back from, well, we sent Linwood Ambulance an email regarding some of the things we want to change in the proposed contract. They've come back with, their thoughts on it, which is not in agreement with us. I would like to have a meeting with Woodstock and see where they stand, because if I'm not saying that we're totally right and the ambulance is totally wrong, but I think bringing Woodstock and us together, which of these are we both on board with and adamant about, both on board with flexible, or both on board with that it's fine with what they want, and see where we are.
I think that makes sense.
So I would propose that we see if we can schedule a meeting with Woodstock.
ASAP.
ASAP, and even if it's not on a Monday night, or what do they meet on, Tuesday?
Tuesday or Wednesday?
Yeah, but if it's not on a regular.
Tuesday.
Tuesday,
I'm pretty sure.
I think it is Tuesday. If it's not on a regular night.
Yeah, we can go there, we can go here, I don't care.
I will reach out to them, and ask, the meeting as soon as possible.
I think the fact that it was just sent out at 10 minutes of 5 tonight, it doesn't give the board a chance.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
I definitely
Talk to
agree.
them, so, I think that's the best move to postpone the discussion on who you get a little more information, find out what you said, what the stock stands.
Right, and I don't think this has any weighing on the vote tomorrow at town meeting. I mean, I assume we're still all seeking to do this, get
Mhm.
something with them, it's just a matter of
It'll happen,
some
yeah.
points within the contract that just need to be negotiated. We haven't had a contract since ever, so, what is this? 40 years?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
I don't think they're gonna go anywhere.
yeah, I mean, it's not gonna, so anyway, let's
think we're
get a meeting together.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just have one thing, the, planning board wasn't in the last meeting, I think it was 2 meetings ago, talked about the looping of the water system language, adding that to our subdivision regulations. And it was suggested that we add that exact same language to the town's water ordinance, just so that it's in both places. And that it matches and it's
Our water regulations.
the water regulations,
Okay.
yeah. Which we just adopted a new set of water regulations not too long ago. Um,
Okay, so we need that updated to include the looping one.
the looping language, yeah.
Okay. Do we have to hold a public hearing to amend the regulations? No, because it's not an ordinance, it's a regulation.
Regulation, we just adopted it at a board of selectmen's meeting, I think, not too long ago.
Okay.
I mean, within the last
Couple years.
year,
Even last year?
isn't it? Yeah. Pretty sure.
I don't remember. I'll look into it.
Yeah.
Whatever we did, I'll make sure we
We
did
did.
it correctly. Okay.
All right, and then I have one other thing that's gonna be in non-public also,
Okay.
so. You all set?
I'm all set.
Everything?
Yeah, but I non-public. Then, the citizenry that's here and online. There was a meeting last Friday, I believe it was, a public meeting down at Jean's Playhouse. About the expansion of Moon Mountain,
Done.
and I suggest strongly that you, as citizenry, take a look at it. It's major expansion. Moon right now has over 400 and some odd acres. And the new expansion calls for over 500 new acres. And different peaks, another 5 new lifts, new lodges. So, it will definitely have an impact on the town. And I think if people go on, they can weigh in their comments. They are taking comments online for this. And, I think it's important that people have.
Agreed, I didn't realize it was online, I wanted to go, but I went to the alumni games at the high school instead. I chose kids, so, I mean, surprised. But yeah, I'm glad to hear it's online,
Yeah, it's on their YouTube channel.
fantastic,
They live streamed it as well. I watched it live stream, but it is available. You can watch it now.
good to know, thank you, yeah, excellent.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Mhm.
It was well attended too.
Yeah.
I bet it was,
Yeah, there was probably 100 or so people there.
fantastic,
And there was about 100 or so online.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
fantastic. Good to know, I'm gonna watch that.
All right, did you get anything?
The alumni games were fun too, they were great. I did, and I don't know what it was now. Oh, Linwood has one student that is qualified for this, he's at the final, poetry out loud competition at the State House on, hang on just a minute, and I'll find out. I have it in my calendar. The New Hampshire State House on Friday, March 14th at 5 p.m. Which is very cool. He is also one of our seasonal plays at the actual program in the summer. Yeah, program. Oh, really? Yeah. I don't know if I can say his name because he's minor. Am I allowed to? Say Dalton Lilac out loud. He's fantastic. He went through the school and Rotary and then district, which was in the PSU, and now he's at State House. But so very excited, very cool, yeah, it's fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, then I will open it up for public participation. Jim, grab the mic.
Yeah, one other little suggestion. At the very dead end of Pollard Road, where the new police station is being built. To make it more obvious that that is a dead end street. To plant a couple, say 6x6s. This side, on the town side of the fence. Horizontally. And take 2x10s, 2x8s, or whatever. Vertical with reflector tape on it. So somebody driving down there can see that that is a dead end. So somebody doesn't go through the fence again. Or somebody doesn't take that by hydrant out.
I know it's state fence, but can we put some kind of a reflective sign or something on fence?
I mean, the fence right now is not in good shape. The last I saw it, right, was it still pushed down? Yeah.
I have.
Well, when they remove snow, they push those rocks, they they push the rocks up against the fence. And sometimes the snowbank is up even with the fence, so you gotta have something above that fence.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to put something on the fence. I think if
No.
we're gonna do anything, it would be outside of the fence, as Jim said, like on our.
Not a bad idea, have a conversation with, Nate, see how he.
Yeah, some sort of,
I think,
Not a bad idea.
you see it in the movies, they have those all done.
Sure.
yeah.
We're talking about, yeah,
Well, the reason why a car went through it the last time is most likely because they were driving down that road and they didn't see it. And they
Didn't
were-
know it was a dead end.
So I can definitely talk to Nate of what he thinks, something reflective, something that just identifies that it's. You're not going onto the highway.
I want to make sure it's in a place that doesn't interfere with snow.
Snow removal, right.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't.
I'll talk to Nate and see what he thinks would be a good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get something above the fence.
sure,
So that people can actually see it.
Yeah.
And board, 2x8s, 2x10s or whatever, say plant the uprights 10 feet apart and have 12 foot, 14-foot boards. Glued to them.
That's a good idea. Thank you.
'Cause I'd hate to see somebody take that fire hydrant out.
that would hurt.
It's a good thing that guy did turn left and not right when he went through the fence.
That gets knocked off, that'll be water all over the place.
Yeah, like I said, I'll talk to Nate and see what he can, we can move those boulders around, we could, install something. I know that at one point, before we moved the boulders there, Nate was talking about putting like the cement bollards, with like the reflective paint around the bollards. I don't know, but I'll definitely talk to you about
Awesome, thank you, Jim.
Anything else for public participation?
Before we go. Whatever, I'm gonna publicly admit that Paul Gordon was right, I was wrong. At the last meeting, we talked about, talked about the crosswalk lights and that there was a person that was killed on Main Street and being who I am, I had to go back for minutes to fill up, which I did. And the person on Main Street was killed by a truck driver, so that wasn't a lights issue, but he did in their state that we should put signs or lighting up at the crosswalk on Pollard Road by King Banks Road.
And I talked to Nate about that, and Nate is ordering signs, and said,
Fantastic.
he's gonna wait until snow gets down a little bit, but he said he has no problem with those.
But I had disagreed with him at the meeting, like, I was, all right,
Then I will make a motion.
wait, can we do minutes?
2 minutes.
Sorry. And we're talking the minutes from February 24th, correct?
Yes, have anything?
I did,
Okay, go ahead.
on line 42,
Yeah.
last word will. Isn't that a question? It has to do with funding, reimbursement funding and whatnot. is that guaranteed? I know the next paragraph goes on to say that if it doesn't, we don't get it, but it,
It's not, we still have to apply
so
for it.
can we just change that to may? May or should
Expects.
expects, okay, I like that.
If the
Change
town
that to
completes
expect.
this process, if the town completes this process, we expect the federal government will reimburse the town 71% of the cost.
We expect, perfect, okay,
71%.
I love it.
71.
71, okay, thank you. We, and then I had, line 128. A section of the, is it insulation,
Oh, yeah, big one.
not installation?
Not surprised.
And I'm the. No. Line 130, can we cross out spray foam and just put additional insulation? Because we probably did mention the word spray foam, but I don't
We
think
did.
that that's what they're gonna use to remediate it. And. Line 170. OJ actively participates when able to, only one, two.
Ah.
And that's it.
Any motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of February 24th as amended.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then. We have two sets of non-public minutes. We have non-public minutes from February 24th, and I will make a motion to accept those as presented.
All those in favor?
Aye. We have non-public meeting minutes from March 4th. I will make a motion to accept those non-public meeting minutes as presented.
You second that one?
Good, good.
All those in favor?
Aye. Thank you, Jane.
Those. Yeah.
And then I'll make a motion to go to non-public for a legal update
And a real estate transaction.
and a real estate transaction.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And thank you all for.
Yes, thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming, and hopefully we'll see you all tomorrow sometime between 10 AM and 6 PM. And then again, and then it's again.